Morning, everybody. Ash from Mooloolaba Beach. And yes, I did play there this morning. Had a few wins and gave away a couple of games that I shouldn't have and feeling terrible for it. But anyway, morning toast. Beautiful coffee. So today, going to talk about the Daily Huddle, the morning stand-up, the one-to-one check-in, the weekly check-in, whatever you do. And whilst I think it's fantastic that Agile theory is permeated into all industries. So I know bankers and corporate finance and manufacturing and also the marketing teams who have that sort of daily huddle with their teams every day. And the more I attend, the more I hate them, to be honest, right? I just start to loathe and get bored and fall asleep during these huddles. And the typical format is, hey, this is what I did. You know, you go around the team one at a time. Everyone gets a voice and one person, this is what I did yesterday and this is what I'm working on today. And it's most companies or teams are trying to do it in 10 minutes or 7 minutes or something like that, and going around. And I think the reason I hate it is it's trying to achieve three things in a short period of time. And your audience has really different skills, or people participating. So some can make it sound like they're busy and achieving stuff when they're doing absolutely nothing, just got the gift of the gab and, roll out of bed, just come straight out and they sound awesome. And you listen carefully to the words and you think, well, actually they're doing nothing. They've done nothing and they're doing nothing. That's my cynical side. Trust issues, Ash, as one of my team members says, don't have trust issues. I'm just listening carefully. And then others, of course, a bit more shy and introverted, just don't come across, and they may be doing fantastic work and really achieving a lot and pre-planning and everything else. So I think that's one aspect I hate about it. The other one is pre-planning, actually, the lack of pre-planning that goes into the session. People literally sort of arriving and just ad-libbing. And but it's the fact that it's trying to do so many things in one session. So if you break it down, these sessions are trying to do three things at once in this morning call. You're, as a team leader, trying to create this sort of sense of accountability or productivity. What are you working on? And is that what we want to be working on? And then related to that, the second goal of these huddles is to look at the capacity across your team. So if you're a team leader and you're listening carefully to what everyone's doing and you're trying to sort of share work around, or you've got something on your plate you want to delegate, you're trying to figure out who to delegate it to. So they're related, right? Accountability, productivity, and the capacity of your team. And then thirdly, it's to brainstorm and help each other for what you're listening to. So if someone says, hey, I'm working on this afternoon, and they can say, hey, these are my blockers, or these are my questions, or these are the decisions I need made. That's typically the format, right? So I find that valuable, but the sessions rarely get to that, and it takes a lot of time and effort, and I've already fallen asleep before we get to that. So and I didn't think of this, but when we were showing these time management concept designs on the back of the research, and I was showing it to some really good team leaders in different industries, and I was saying, hey, we're thinking the app's going to plan your day, it's going to aggregate your calendars, you'll be able to choose the order, still set your own order of work, as you heard me talk about on the previous videos. So that's, everyone wants to control the order they work, what goes in what order because of their personal preferences. We talked about that before. So you're still doing that, but once you've done that and it's all set, the team leaders looked at it and said, man, I want to be able to see this for my teams. So, and then I just sort of thought of my daily huddle experience and went, yeah, that's it, right? So imagine you come into the huddle, big screen goes up, or you're all on different screens, or you're working from home and you can see it all on one monitor. And each person's day is laid out in front of you. They've set their order, they're in control. But you can see what they're working on when, how long they think each thing's going to take, or it's been auto-scheduled by the app. If they're lazy and they haven't had time, so we'll just do it for them using the app. But that's all laid out. So the first two things get taken care of, right? So who's working on what? What's the plan? Have they pre-planned the day, which is kind of one purpose? Who's got capacity to take on second purpose? You'll just see it all. So you don't have to have that boring, yesterday I did this, because you'll be able to see that too, what they did, what they didn't do, what they've shuffled. That was yesterday, and today here's my plan. So that'll be automatic. So my theory is the daily huddle could go straight to where the value is and where it's interesting, where I actually wake up is, hey, I'm about to do this and I could do with some help, or does anyone know how to do it? Or I've got a blocker on this aspect. Or I had a win yesterday. You know, some of these huddles have the format where you're sharing knowledge and win, and or cultural values. I know a company that makes sure that the morning huddle pulls out, they've got the culture code, and they just say, hey, I did this yesterday for a customer and it kind of relates to this code. So you're reinforcing culture on the huddles. But so good, right? If it was all done, it was all automatic. And then of course you start thinking, well, hang on a minute, we're working remotely, hybrid, flexible, distributed, cross-border teams. If that's all laid out every day for every team member and you can control visibility, how cool would that be? You just get on there and you can see it all, and then you're just having a conversation around the interesting bits, still go around each person. So anyway, I want to throw that out to you guys, get your opinion on it, the pros and cons from a team leader point of view or from a team member point of view, what you think we should include. Some of the decisions we're looking at so far have been, obviously we won't share private calendar appointments, and we'll just focus on the order of the work, and there's confidentiality already built into the strata, so it wouldn't show anything that's confidential. So we'll just have to figure out how to handle those time slots, right? There's 120 minutes here on confidential work, whether that triggers conversation in the huddles or not. So we'll work through those things. Be interested to hear your thoughts on how we could handle that and if we should. And if we're on the right path, and if this would add value to you. So yeah, multiple questions there, right? So firstly, do you do daily huddles or one-to-ones or weekly check-ins on a similar format in a team type structure? Would it help to see each day laid out for all your team members in advance, and the team members are in control of that, and you're able to just make suggestions or add things, et cetera, et cetera. So what would you look for? Would that add value? And what do you think, where do the huddles give you angst at the moment? So do you hate things as much as I do? Or where does it, really let you down? So another person was telling me the other day that the huddles tend to start well in their company. It's a local marketing food company. But as people start talking, you get distracted, right? And particularly, she's female, but she's, the males are in problem solving mode straight away. And of course that takes you down rabbit holes left and right. So interesting feedback. So again, would this help keep things on track and not get distracted, particularly if you're going straight to the point in the conversations? I think it would. Keen to hear your thoughts, and we'll soon start to share some concept designs on this video series to get your feedback on those, but also want you to inform the design as much as possible, the purpose of this this series of videos. Okay, thank you very much, and wish you all a great day from Australia. Ciao.